Hello class, and welcome to the optional assignment video that I'm putting together for Module 4 for your earned value calculations. If you haven't been able to use an electronic software package that has run all of the numbers for you to be able to try to calculate earned value, we have the option available for you to calculate it by hand using a set of questions that are out there. So I've got two different problems, 4.1 and 4.2, with a variety of questions that I will walk you through. But for the earned value assignment, you're going to have to actually calculate this information manually. So the team would put together answers or responses to the situations that I'm going to walk you through. So the graphic image below me you can see is basically an earned value analysis. So you can see where you've got the actual cost, the planned value, the earned value, where those flow, and the two different matrices, or the two different areas, cost running up and time running across. And you can see how the cost variance and the schedule variance fit into that, in addition to the budget at completion. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to walk you through where you can find the calculations and to really get a good background history of what we're talking about from an earned value standpoint. So in your PMBOK, so if you go to your PM guide, you're going to see that on page 100, you've got a similar description for what we're talking about here, in addition to a good, complete understanding of the calculations over on page 100 and 101. In addition to that, if you jump over to 104 and 105, there's another set of instructions for you that are going to make it very easy for you. So you need to use your PM book, your PM guidebook. Go ahead and go through and read that section. That will give you the preliminary information you need. Now, in addition to that, in your regular textbook, the Larson and Gray textbook, I want you to turn to pages, start on page, let's have you go to page 480. So 480 starts the section on the need for earned value. You'll see that section at the bottom here starts it, and for the next 4 or 5 pages, it walks you through the calculations. It also gives you a good legend of information for the different acronyms, so you'll understand what earned value, planned value, actual value, cost variance, schedule variance, BAC, budget at complete, EAC, estimate at complete, ETC, estimate to completion, and then VAC. Those are the typical type of formulas that you're going to find, and then it walks you through a variety of different exercises. So go ahead and use that. Take that all the way up to page 499. That's going to give you some really great information. It'll also give you some practices so that you'll be able to get these calculations correct. Now, in addition to that, at the end of your book at page, let me just get it pulled up here, 664, there's a little formula section back here for project management formulas. So let me just get 664 up, and I'll walk you through that. I think it's very valuable for you. Here we go. And the pages are almost there. Hang on, here we go. So here's the calculations they've got set up, and they call it project management equations. So the project management equations on that page are going to be beneficial for you also, because there's a couple formulas here that you don't get off of those standard calculations I'm asking you for, which I think are going to be really, really important for you. And one of them is going to be TCPI. So look up TCPI, and then the rest of the formulas we've already got set up for you. Now, in the exercise itself, and I'll attach this Word document that I'm going to go through for you, so you'll have this as the assignment. So I'm giving you information, your project, and this is question 4-1. This is on earned value calculation. Your project has 4 activities. Below is the current status of each one of those activities. So you have activity A, activity B, activity C, activity D, and we give you information both cost and schedule wise that you will have to take a peek at. Then, using that data, the data that we just gave you out of those 4 different activities, you are going to need to create what is the planned value, the PV, the earned value, and the actual at complete, the AC. So those are the calculations that you will have to create. That's worth 10 points. The next question, what are the schedule variance, cost variance, SPI, and CPI for the project? So you need those 4 numbers also. That's worth 10 points. And then we're asking you whether or not you could celebrate the program or the project here and why. So you will need to tell us what is the project performance to date. If you have to assess it, is it positive, is it negative, and why? Give me that information. That's worth 5 points. Then earned value question number 4-2, which is the second question. You've got 4 activities once again, so you've got information on activity A, activity B, activity C, and activity D. Using this information is different than 4-1. These are 4 different activities. They're not the same. Using that data, I need you to calculate the CV, the SV, the CPI, and the SPI for each activity and the total project. So that means that for each one of those, so activity A, I'm going to need the CV, the SV, the CPI, the SPI. For activity B, the same thing. Activity C, the same thing. Activity D, the same thing. So there's not just one answer that you're looking at. You're creating a population of those. And then this is where I need you to give me what is your assessment of the project performance at this point in time. And that one is worth 12.5 points. So these 2 questions are worth 12.5 points. You get 10, 10, and 5 for these up on top here. Okay? Now, that is the optional assignment that is being made available to you so that you can manually calculate earned value. Okay? Listen, if you run into any problems, feel free to reach out to me at any time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.